What's up, everybody? It's your favorite slimy, double-crossing, no-good swindler's favorite nerd, and today we are looking at the Han Solo and Lando from the latest wave of Star Wars Black Series from the upcoming Solo film. I got these through Crashbox Customs. I advise you do the same. These don't have a street date until April 13th, so I'm anxious to take a look at them, and let's go ahead and get started. Solo comes with this signature blaster. We got the metallic paint. I think it's a brown plastic, and we got the metallic paint for the gun itself. Looks good, sculpted well, par for the course. As for the figure, they have the digital digital paint job, rather. Looks good. This might be the cleanest shot that we've seen of him, you know, because they're kind of keeping it, I feel like, fairly hidden in the trailers. I mean, you do see him, obviously, but you don't see a whole lot. And seeing this representation, I'm not really mad at it. You know, I kind of got to see if this kid is cool enough. I'm not sure if they even make people cool in the same way they made people cool when Harrison Ford was cool. You know what I mean? I'm not even sure if they could generate that type of coolness anymore on a biological level. But we'll see. The sculpt is great. The paint is great. Not a full wisp of hair is painted here. Like there's this one in the front. It's not fully painted, but the rest of it painted extremely well. And we have dry brushing on the hair, which looks great. We have the head that's on. Actually, it's not even on a ball hinge, which is nice. It's on a double ball peg. See if I can't get it off, so to speak. Nope, I'm not going to force it. But it's a double ball peg from the head into the neck. Articulation works fairly well. It's a much more natural look. Why am my camera not focusing? Head down to there, up to there. So the range is more limited, but it's a much more natural and seamless appearance. So bravo, well done. We have a floating jacket, softer plastic, but not extremely soft. The collar is painted the black. The whole thing is washed, and then you have the insignia that's painted silver and red there. So all in all, we're still on the up and up. We have disc hinge shoulders that get you up to there and all the way around. No bicep swivel, but you do get it at the elbow on a single hinge, which gets you a little bit past 90 degrees, which is fine. Not ideal, but fine. And then we have the same for the other side. We have a holding hand with no weapon for it, and then we have a trigger finger hand, which is dumb. You know how I feel about that. Like, I feel like the hand should make sense for the accessories that the figures come with. If you want to have a holding hand for something in the future or something, cool. Include it as an extra. Give me another hand to slip in. So it's on a hinge, and then it swivels for both. And this one swivels up and down. And for the, hinges up and down. So for the gun, that's nice. I'm on board with that. The sleeves are all washed as well, which is nice. We have a single ball peg diaphragm joint. The inside of the shirt is all sculpted fairly well. I don't feel like they painted the neck all the way down into the chest. Like I feel like there's a little bit left to go there, but for the most part, it's done pretty well. That is very limited in terms of a crunch. You get a fair bit back. You get a little bit side to side, which is nice, and then the swivel, so it's okay. We had the belt on his pants, which is sculpted and painted, which is nice, and then we had the floating belt over top, which is all painted appropriately, but not washed. I don't think. If it is, it's very subtle, so I don't think it is. Subtlety's not really Hasbro's strong point. All the little gadgets and stuff are all painted appropriately, so that works. T-jointed ball joints for hips, they get you out to there. Front and back to there. He's a little hippie, I feel like, if we're just looking at this proportionately. Like, he's a little wide in this area. I don't know. Maybe that's how he is. Legs forward to there, back to there. Thigh swivel. We have the red striped pants, which looks good. This thigh holster part is sculpted on, and then this is glued, it feels like, into that, so I'm good with that. Double jointed knee, get you all the way around. And then we have an ankle hinge up to there, so extreme ankle tilt, more than you need, and back to there, which is fine. And then the rocker, actually, I'm not sure how well that rocker is going to work, to be honest, because if you had the foot like this and you rock, it doesn't really get you what you need it to do. Do you know what I mean? So that's a bit of a bummer. Like, I don't know if it's the angle. It'll work. It's just, it's not quite right. It's fine, but not quite right. And that's this guy in a nutshell. Lando comes with this silver blaster, fully painted. Did I just break it? No. But you can separate this bit here. I wonder why. Maybe it's in the movie. We'll have to wait and see. Sculpted nice enough, completely painted, so no issue there. Once again, he has the digital paint job for the face. He also has this. I don't know if you want to consider this an accessory or not. It's like his cape. It just sits over top of him. I wish it was soft goods, but, you know, maybe we'll get a custom from somebody. But, you know, it's just so limiting like this. Anyway, I think that he's going to nail this role, by the way. I really think he's going to knock this out of the park. We'll have to wait and see, but I have high hopes. Some of the promotional images I've seen of him in it, and like some of like the interviews I've listened to and such with him in it, I'm like, man, like I almost wonder, you know, I'm a huge Han Solo fan, but I almost wish that we got a Lando movie instead, because I feel like he's going to do an amazing job. So his head is also on a double ball peg and works better than Han's does. So you get the head all the way down to there, all the way up to there. The sculpt, I feel like, is not quite as accurate for his face, but the paint job is good, and the hair is sculpted well. And the double ball peg is fantastic. No issues there whatsoever. We got this scarf. You can get this out. I guess you could count this as an accessory as well. It's a softer plastic, has like a glossy look to it, and then has the white paint on it that looks great. We have a single ball peg in the torso. Actually, that's a double. See, that's what I'm talking about. And look how much better that works. You do get some gappage, but overall it works extremely well. And then you get the swivel. You have wrinkles and all that kind of stuff sculpted in. I feel like these yellows don't match up perfectly, like this upper yellow and this lower yellow, but overall it looks okay to me. Little black part is painted there. Everything else is kind of straightforward. The shoulders, ball hinges, they get you up to there. Full swivel around. Single hinged elbow, that gives you a swivel. And the single hinge gets you way past 90 degrees, so that works well. We have the hands that are on a swivel at the wrist, hinge up down for the trigger finger hand, end out for the holding hand that can't hold anything. And then we have the belt that's sculpted and painted. We have the floating belt that's painted, and then the holster is glued in to the side of the leg, so that works. It's a nice looking holster too. I dig it. And then we have T-jointed ball joints for hips, get you out to there. We have forward and back motion to there, thigh swivel, double jointed knee. Not the prettiest, but it works. Ankle tilt with glossy black shoes, up to there, down to there, and the swivel. And that swivel, that rocker works a bit better, I feel like. Now, anytime you do pants, it's tricky. Where they meet the shoes, but it definitely looks like it has a little bit of high water action. It's not the most terrible thing. I've definitely seen worse, but it's something worth pointing out, I think. And then there's the back of the figure. Final thoughts wise, I think they're both really well done. My negatives are, I feel like Solo's proportions are a little wide in the hips, but maybe they're accurate. I haven't seen enough of that character in the film to really make a closed book opinion on that situation. But especially next to Lando, I feel like he's a little bigger boned, you might say.
Well, I'll be damned. They nailed it.
I also can't stand when they give characters hands they can't hold anything, or they can hold something, they just give them nothing to hold. I would like for the hands to be more appropriate in general. And I feel like the sculpt on Lando is a little off, the face sculpt, and I feel like the yellows don't quite match on Lando. But that's really it. There's some great stuff going on here. Big improvements. Much more paint on Solo than we've seen on a lot of Black Series figures recently. Articulation works fairly well across the board. We got the double ball pegs replacing the ball hinge for the heads. Really smart. I really dig it. It gives a much cleaner look, and the articulation isn't as exaggerated. The digital paint on both look fantastic. We have dry brushing going on. We have washes going on. The accessories are painted. They're really well done, especially at a $20 price point. So if you're interested in the representations of the characters from this era in the saga, it's a strong recommend from me. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.